Einen wunderschönen guten Abend. Good evening, everybody. We are back online and hopefully we don't have that technical problems again like we had yesterday, since we are now back in our little studio here. Yeah, I would love to welcome all these participants, all the visitors that are late online late this evening. And yeah, so I hope you had an exciting day. I had an exciting day looking at the race, and there was so much ongoing today. I would love to share and recap day 4. So well, with what do we start? Obviously, I think the biggest topic again was the weather. So usually when you comment such a race and you are in contact with folks out there on the street, then they're talking about usually food and where to sleep and stuff like this. But these days the majority of the comments I get from the street, from the road, from the street was about the weather, and it must have been terrible. Yeah, so Hartwig contacted me and he said, well, it was pouring rain, especially in the area of Lake Constance, with strong headwinds. So he was facing, so the rain was pushed into his face, and believe it or not, that has not been nice. Timo is out there, who just contacted me, and Timo and we raced in Belgium last spring, the classic story, where we had quite some rain, but he said this was worth. So Italy and Austria in summer is worse than Belgium in spring, so that has to does mean some things. Yeah, and well, luckily it looks a little bit better. If you like, we can have a look at the weather forecast. So let's try and see if we can catch it out. Yeah, let's use it. Give me a second to call the weather forecast, and then I will share with you. Okay, there we are. So let's look at the weather. Where are we? Well, here around where you see the cursor is peak number 2. We come to the tracker map in a second. So peak number 2, the Feldberg, is around here, with peak number 3 is around here. So you see the rain, the heavy rain here, the blue and the pink area. Pink, I think, is even snow, is moving eastwards, Croatia. So those who are there for some beach holidays, they will have also a wet day. But the area where our cyclists are moving currently through Tyrol, for those who are a bit slower, and Switzerland, so it looks like the majority of the rain is already past. So the weather should be better tonight and even tomorrow. But this is a very good message for all out there. Yeah, so we hope that day 4 was the worst day for a while, hopefully. So, but let's have a look at the tracker map, and there were some exciting and interesting things ongoing. So, like usually, we'll start with the top of the field, of course. Yeah. Which is interesting because we see over the day we could see a variety of strategies. We had discussed already Bernhard yesterday, number 222. He pushed hard through yesterday, so the last night and the night before, and managed to came in first in the morning. So he slept less than the other two. But he's obviously cycling slower, and so he was first this morning, but then he was passed by Laurent, 205, the name we have mentioned quite often, and also passed by Niels. We will see. So the distance is not super far, but it's still some way to go if Bernhard can follow his strategy through the next night as well, sleep less, and then catch up again on these two here in front. What's also interesting to see is the different routing. So let's compare. No, that's give me a second. Okay. So these are the three routings I have catched up, and as you can see here, so the field and the head of the field split up here around Lac de Neufchâtel. Yeah, so some riders took the northern route. No, we cannot see that. So let me click it away. So for example, here Laurent took the northern route, so he passed Lac Neufchâtel at the north shore, whereas I think it was Bernhard. Yes, Bernhard has taken the southern route. So that are the options that you have. From I didn't plot that in Komoot or somewhere else. So, but it looks as if the distance is not so far away. So it's a question of a choice where you want to go and which route you prefer. So what can we expect from the top of the field? Let's look a little bit into the next target. Here we are, Col de Finestre. So it's in Italy. So our participants are now going to push here through. This is still Switzerland, and they will cross the border quite soon into Italy again, and yeah, have to master this Col de la Finestre. So funny thing, this is also a part of the transcontinental race this year, which is about to start in 3 weeks from now. So they will cycle it the other way around, but I will come to that later when we are closer to that call. Yeah, you see, so the field, the top of the field is progressing quite fast towards the call. I would expect them to be here tomorrow, early tomorrow morning, depending a little bit how much they are pushing. They will have to climb a bit when they cross this area here, so this mountainous area, yeah, will reach the checkpoint number 3. And from checkpoint number 3, it's not that far anymore to the final parcours. As you can see here, the blue line. So, well, I expect the first rider to arrive the day after tomorrow in Nice. I think they will not do it tomorrow, but I expect afternoon on Thursday we should have a winner. But this, as I said multiple times, and this is still true, it's quite a way to go. A lot of things happen, and yeah, you never can be too sure. I just got a message in the chat, for example, saying Sascha Huber, you know, the guy who pushed very hard and did very well on the first day and then went southwards to Udine. So he seems to have a mechanical he couldn't fix, so he had to abort the race, and this is something which may happen anytime, yeah? And so then your race may quickly be over. Yeah, so let's have a look at the rest of the field. Yeah? And as you can see here, the field has spread widely over the course. Yeah, we have the very last riders now doing or have done checkpoint number 1, our famous Montezzocolan. So the Latin Rouge is currently with Stefan. And there's also Freddy, who is, well, enjoying the ride a little bit more, and yeah, So we have the majority of the field is now here around Tyrol, around Lake Constance, and also heading towards the Black Forest, conquering checkpoint number 2, conquering the Feldberg. Yeah, and this is quite an amazing picture. It looks nice, and yeah, you see how these different cyclists are doing. We can again see the different routes we discussed already before. So we see here the majority of the route is going here via sorry, via this way, so following the Inn River, going via Landeck, and then crossing into Switzerland using the route south of Lake Constance. There are quite a few people going the northern route back into Germany earlier, and passing Lake Constance in the north. And we still have some more riders who take the route via southern Tyrol, via Merano. You see, we had discussed this yesterday in the live stream. I'm not sure if this was well preserved because of that technical problems we had. So nevertheless, so these people are also perhaps, I would say that's perhaps the most scenic way to go. Yeah, what else can I share with you? So we have quite a few people. Let's see who is currently on the top of the Feldberg on checkpoint number 2. So we have a candidate here. It's Larissa Unsen. Oh, that's a good and it's a surprise, because if I'm not mistaken, she must be the first woman. At least she was that when I last checked, and yes, she is. So in the women's field, there was also a nice development, because the first 3 also decided to take different routes. Let's activate the route tracker so we can see that. You can see here, Larissa, who is still really doing strong, has taken the route north of Lake Constance, where we had the report of massive headwinds. So she must be quite strong, whereas Jana here and also Mona 245 both took 2 routing alternatives south of Lake Constance. So the first 3 women, all of them choose different routes, and currently it looks as if Larissa is the strongest one, and she's pushing hard. She just completed checkpoint number 2 and is now on her way to descent from the Feldberg, and will have to follow the parcours. As we know now already that the weather is a bit better, it might happen that the one or the other participants who has slept well over the last 2 nights, where it was raining anyhow, may push quite hard this night and shortcut the sleeping time to catch up on the time potentially lost, depending on sleeping strategy. But as you can see here, that's I love to see that what is how the riders make their choice, and you can see the rest of the women's field is also taking that decisions. Yeah, so the majority is going here via Landeck, this majority route. The others are going here via Germany, via Kempten, and a few are going, just one lady, Samira, is taking the route via Meran. Yeah, that's it for now. We may have a look at the pairs. That's something we haven't discussed so far, and that's the view on our pairs here. So let's see who's there. So the first pair is Moritz and Nora. Moritz Schmidlin and Nora Schmidlin, kept 3-7 and 4-0. So the two, they are in the lead in the, there was not a real category for the pairs, but they are the fastest pair here, with quite some distance already, followed by Felix Tomin and Finn Süß. So they seems to have paused. So the last tracker update was 21:51 here, so quite some 40 minutes ago. So I assume they will have stopped for the night, and yeah, same may apply to Simon Rieser and Steffi Laquinto. 4652. Let's zoom in. Maybe we can see where they are. Let's zoom in. Can you see here? Yeah. No, it's not clear where they are. We would have to switch to Google Maps to see, but it looks as if they have found some shelter. And let's zoom in here. Yeah, also not clear if there's a hotel or so. Here's ABC Hotel. Maybe they have chosen that one, or there's an apartment hotel here in Constance. So the dot may not be 100% precise at the location where these people are. That's a little bit of a measurement uncertainty, but it looks as both have found a place to stay for the night in Constance. For simplicity, and Moritz and Nora, so they are still paddling. You see the last tracker upward was just now. That's how you can see if somebody has stopped, likely for the night, maybe just to pause, but it's usually a good indication in the evening. If the dot is not moving anymore, you can assume this rider or these participants have stopped for the night. Yeah, so let's look, let's have the same view on the female as well. So Larissa is obviously paddling. We have seen her dot moving, and the same applies for Mona. Just remove the track. Whereas Jana, the last update was already half an hour ago. So let's zoom in. The dot is right at on the street, so I guess she will not have stopped there. So it may also happen that the tracker update needs a while to get updated, so it's not always 100% accurate. It may happen that the mobile data connection is not good enough to send out the update, so I wouldn't find it quite unlikely that Jana would stop right here besides the street and stop there for the night. And one interesting feature, perhaps you're not so familiar with this, you can also see the battery of the tracker here. Yeah, that's interesting to see. So Jana, you should charge your tracker quite immediately, or at least tomorrow, to make sure we get your dot moving. And here you could see Mona's dot jumping from there to there, so there was an update here on the map, but I think most of you are now in the meantime used to that map and how to use it. So before we close the call, let's have a look who of the male riders is still paddling, and I will guess all of them in the front. That would be my bet. So here, let's check. Laurence obviously moving. Niels, last update is 30 minutes ago. So let's zoom in. Yeah, he seems to have stopped for the night. At least his dot is right in the middle of the city. Here's a B&B hotel, so there's nothing to be seen here, but it might be that he has stopped. That's something when I'm riding, it's also a strategy. I like to prefer to stop a little bit earlier, because usually it's then easier to check in because people are still there. The reception is open. You get most likely some food. So it's usually easier to stop early and leave early rather than cycle too long into the night, because at 2 o'clock nobody's there anymore. You have to find a 24-hour hotel or something, or stay outside. So the strategy is perhaps quite good. And who else is going? So Bernhard, famous for his long rides into the night. Obviously he is still riding. And Simon, well, last update 8 minutes ago. This does not mean too much. Let's see where his dot is. Hard to say if he's moving. Maybe he just stops for an evening meal or something. Yeah, who else do we have? Otto, 20 minutes ago. That's a new name on this. I don't have him on the radar so far. Zoom in. Yeah, unclear. Yeah, so that is the way how you may also evaluate who is going and who is stopping, and we can guess a little bit on the strategy. Of course, we do not know, and I'm not in contact with any of those three here. So yeah, so we'll see how they do for the night. Yeah, that's it for now. I hope I could give you some more detailed insights in the field and how the race is progressing. Of course, we would have look at other riders as well. And if you follow your friend, your loved ones here, you may have a look at the dots of the rider you are following and give a guess, have a look at his routing and see how he or she is doing. So hope this helps you a little bit. And yeah, and I hope you enjoyed it. As far as I can see, technique worked better today. So feel free to post any questions in the comments of this video if you have some. I will be back online most likely tomorrow evening around the same time, because again I'm coming home late. So we will see us, if you like, tomorrow 10:15 in the evening for the update on day 5. And I'm quite sure we will have checkpoint 3 checked off then by the first riders, and well, it then gets close to the finish. And yeah, so feel free to join again tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and have a good night and stay tuned. See you. Bye bye.